I'd like to welcome in now a senior fellow at Defense Priorities and host of Daniel Davis Deep Dive on YouTube, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis. Lieutenant Colonel, always great to see you. So we just heard from Robert there. We have yet to see a response to Tuesday's attack on Israel by Iran. What do you think that will look like? When do you think it would or could happen?
I assume you mean Israel's response to Iran?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Sorry.
asking? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I honestly think that one of the things they may have been waiting on was the arrival of the second U.S. Aircraft carrier strike group, which is now on station. So you have two aircraft carrier strike groups in the Mediterranean within a range where it can support any kind of an Iranian response back. And that's exactly what happened in April when Iran attacked. You had two aircraft carrier strike groups there with all of the associated air power on board those decks that could intercept missiles and stuff. And so now that that's in place, because you may recall one strike group was supposed to replace the other, but instead they both are staying there. The second one has arrived on station. So I think that Israel probably wanted to make sure they had that in place before they launched something. So it could literally come as early as tonight. But obviously, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And so we don't know for sure exactly when their operational planning is. It would be in Israel's favor to keep the other side guessing. But I think it's going to be something big and something painful. I'm guessing it's probably going to be hitting some kind of an Iranian oil infrastructure as opposed to a nuclear site, at least not yet. But that's going to have some pretty significant consequences, I fear.
I do want to talk to you about the potential significant consequences, but I want to go back to something. We keep hearing the U.S. saying that they were not notified when Israel makes strikes. We think that this response is coming. Israel has promised some type of response. Do you think the U.S. will be notified at any point before it happens?
I mean, based on recent history, that probably they'll say, like maybe when the missiles have been launched before they actually strike, or maybe even just before it. But probably for operational security reasons, Israel doesn't trust the United States a lot, or I think actually more than they don't trust them, they don't want to be told no. They don't want to be have the U.S. say no, we don't support that. So once it's in the air, it's the whole classic, well, easier to ask forgiveness than permission. So I think that that's probably the bigger reason why they would do that.
And President Biden does say the U.S. is discussing the next steps with Israel. But at this point, in this situation, what do you think that even really looks like? What are those discussions about? I mean, what is being discussed?
Well, look, we've got a number of our commanding generals in the command centers with the Israelis. A lot of this planning is going on jointly, which is, I think, somewhat alarming to me. That you have the commander of the unit, CENTCOM, Kurilla, has been videoed a bunch of times recently with the with the Israeli leaders, the generals, Yoav Gallant, et cetera, like he's part of their discussions. And that's not supposed to be our war to fight. In fact, we shouldn't fight it at all. But it's troubling when you see the leaders on the ground, the U.S. leaders in their command centers, and you see two aircraft carrier strike groups positioned in the Mediterranean, because it has all the impressions that we're preparing to engage on behalf of Israel, whatever they do. And I just think that's a bad signal to send.
My last question for you, and we just heard from Robert there. We know Israel is moving forward with its mission in Lebanon. Earlier today, the IDF said it struck targets belonging to Hezbollah's intelligence headquarters in Beirut. It also claims to have taken out another leader responsible for terrorist activities. May not yet be a full-scale war, but is Israel winning, so to speak, the battle in Lebanon right now?
Listen, I would argue it is a full-scale war. I mean, you had this started with the pager and walkie-talkie issue, then with the assassination of the senior leaders, then the assassination of Nasrallah, and then this heavy bombardment throughout Lebanon, and then the ground incursion. So in my estimation, this is a full-scale war right now, and Israel is committed on the ground. Listen, I don't think this ends well for Israel. The task that they have set, allegedly, reportedly by them, up to 60 kilometers deep into Lebanon. That's a huge, it's much more than just the Litani River. And that military task is so much harder than I think people realize. And Israel is already suffering a lot of casualties on the front. So this has every indication it's going to get into a bogged down situation of slog. I mean, Vietnam style if it lasts that long, but I don't see any kind of quick victory for the Israeli side.
All right, we will certainly see what happens. Always appreciate your insight. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, thank you.
Thank you.